now tuned into the greatest.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Sage Be Me podcast, and this is the new section I was telling you about. We are about to get cancelled. So I'll be your host today, Sage Be Me, and our co-host is
Viper.
So Viper and I are in the booth. Viper, how about you tell guys what we'll be introducing them to?
I mean, first of all, thank you, Sage, for having me come on. Very, very excited. There's a lot to talk about, and you're just gonna talk about a myriad of things. I just let you lead the way. But this one,
yeah. You had the name of this session is "We Are About to Get Cancelled." I don't think that the topic is really controversial because it's just something that's out there. But the way we're going to put it, you think that it's just something out of this world, something on its own. So in the first 10 minutes, we're going to introduce you to the topic. Then we start talking about it. We'll build upon it because we can't just say everything in a span of 30 or 15 minutes or even an hour. It's just something on its own, yeah? So I'll start by telling a short story. Yeah? When I actually finished high school, I had this high school sweetheart. Actually, I had a couple of high school sweethearts. Thinking back right now, so I had this one high school sweetheart who we were madly in love. The high school infatuation, Khalid had this song "Young, Dumb and Broke." Yeah. I was that dumb broke.
that time you're a school kid, you don't even know what you want right now. You're just thinking it's a fairy tale.
That time where you're with a girl, then you start naming kids we'll have kids, and our kids will be named A, B, C, D.
all that great shit. You actually think you always think that you have your whole life planned out for at that time, but man, this just sounds interesting, man.
Mm-hmm. So what happened is that she actually broke up with me. Yeah? I was kind of heartbroken at the time, but you move. When you get dumped, you say I was dumped. Then you move, not she'll come back or something. Nah. So I actually moved from her. Yes, I did beg a little bit. Then I was it's not worth it. So I moved. A couple years down the line, my high school sweetheart came back to me. She was like, "Be my boyfriend. Be my boyfriend." I was like, "What?" She was like, "Make the decision quick. Be my boyfriend. In a week from now, I will have another man. But I want you to be I have the first priority." And I was like, what the hell is this woman talking about? Me being the boyfriend? And I was actually enjoying that single. You get what I mean?
I get what you mean. There's this time you're just single, you're just getting your paper right. Then, that high school sweetheart, you just, came around like a boomerang. Then you're like, you know what? What's really going on here? That time you gave me the cold shoulder in your back, man.
Mm-hmm.
Just give me another story, but let me just let you know, go on about that one. But I just chime in a bit later. Yeah, man.
So it happened that after I decided that I'm not going to date her. She actually got another boyfriend, but even though she has this guy, the guy is 10 years older than me. I'm assuming, yeah. And obviously he has money, more than I could have at that moment, yeah. So the girl is I'm only with him because he has money. But if I get my own money, I'm just coming to you. Or if she make money, I'm coming to you. I was like, huh? What? Even trying to process it at that time, because you're in your second year in the university, you don't know you haven't sorted out. You don't know what you want, and you don't know what's happening in the real world. Yeah. So during that, it's happened a couple of times. You can even approach a girl, and then she's like, "What do you do?" I'm just coming to say hi. Why are you asking what I'm doing, man?
It's like they turn on all detective mode. They're like, like do a background check, like it's an interview, which is something like, they try to ask you those questions. But before you continue the story, I'm like, this is a similar scenario when you get to like, get to interact with like chicks when you're dating, like you just, wanting to get to know them. You're not even getting that serious like with the job stuff, but they keep asking you like it's an interview. So like, come on, man. With the IRS, or KRA or something. So yeah, I mean, it just looks so financially motivated. You're like, you stay with this guy, you stay with this guy, then you wanna come for me because I have money. Then you're like, what's the love there? Is it real or is like artificial? Which when you have money,
love comes like automatic or something.
But the thing is like, I'll just let you go on about that one. But I feel like it's something that's still you're trying to understand it. Like you can't get like whole full circle on it because you like look at it like this is a person that you really wanted a few years ago. She was to die for when you looked at her. But when when you went to go about trying to get something concrete, she was coming off like I'm not going to give you any time of day. I'm not giving you like those vibes that like I want to get on with this thing right now at that time. But a few years later, something just changes. They're like they start coming back, they start hollering you, they start blowing up your phone. You're like come on, man. I didn't even I wanted you then, but right now my needs and priorities have changed.
We're not in that level where we were back then, yeah.
No, but I want to tell you one thing, like. Even on that story, like that snippet of that story that you told us, you told us, man. Check this out, bro. When you wanted that girl, she didn't want you, right? When you wanted her, then when you went back to the drawing board, you started improving on yourself. Just keep adding up, leveling up, get your money right. All of a sudden, they start creeping in. They can start coming into you, like they're all interested in
anything. Yeah.
I don't think that's real, man. What do you think, bro?
I'll get to answer your question. Let me just finish this up, then I'll just jump on to your question.
Yeah, cool.
So, like after a while, I figured that I'm actually, although she's cute and everything, I'm actually not that interested in her because like there are a lot of there are actually like a lot of girls, especially in Nairobi, man. There are a lot of girls, and to pick one sometimes becomes a stress for you as a man. Yeah? Although like there are people who say like women are the ones who choose who they'll be dating or something of the sort. But if you get yourself out there, you figure out that many people are choosing you, and it's kind of funny and strange at the same time. Yeah? So after that, that's when I slowly came to figure out that most of the stories that we were told when you were small, yeah, you'll find a woman who loves you, man. That's fine. There are women who will love you, but that love they're talking about also comes with some attachments. That like you can be in a relationship with some even let's say the high school kind of relationships. You have to like spend money while you're around that mommy or something of the sort. If you're taking her out on a date, or you're just going on a strolls and she asks for something like a pin pop or something. Even actually in high school, like girls used to like hand other guys to like buy them sweets or something. Back when there were people were going for funkies and stuff, you get.
Yeah.
So that's after connecting all these pieces, it's when I figured out that there's a large number of girls out there who have completely financialized guys, and they actually scream to guys, it's wrong for you to sexualize them. And I'm like, it don't make sense, man. It don't make sense.
Yeah, it's acceptable. It's acceptable for them to financialize the guy, but when you come to sexualizing the woman, like, but it turns out to be a problem. But the funny thing is, if they complain about being sexualized, even I think Sage can even agree with me. Majority of the time, if you go and do a quick search on their Instagram, you just see them posting up those pictures that
provoke you,
those provocative pictures. They're trying to sexualize themselves, but when you try to mention it, it's a problem. Then about even a couple of weeks ago, like Instagram even changed their policies. They're like, even those pictures, you're not gonna take them down. They can even go extreme, like they can even show like nip slips. Even nip slips are allowed. So I'm like, I just saw that, I was like, oh come on. And you see when you look at that, I'm like, man, they're really
they're out of them, and they're out of them,
really out there.
Oh wow! Oh, I actually didn't know like Instagram changed their policies, man. I was thinking
they did, bro. I mean, I actually saw that. I thought it was a joke, then I went and checked out their TOS thing. I was like, oh damn.
Like going back, they're forming a new OnlyFans man right now, eh?
I mean, OnlyFans was booming, especially in the pandemic. There were chicks who were making like bank out of OnlyFans, or like posting them pictures, sexualizing themselves, But the funny thing is, you're seeing a chick, coming off a bag, just doing all that. Then she tries to act all legitimate when they get the money.
I made this money with my sweat.
Blood, sweat, and tears. You could even see, like, even when they come out, they want to be treated like, the way. There's this video I watched on the internet, like, I can't remember the title, but I saw, like, these OnlyFans, chicks, or even the chicks who, do all that. They make a lot of money, then they try, come off, like, like I won't be treated like the same way you're treating a nurse, a doctor, because we are 6, 7 figures, 6 figures, 7 figures. It doesn't work like that, man.
There's a major there's a clear night and day between the two, man.
I mean, you can't legitimize that. I mean, you're trying to make us accept it, you can't.
It's hard, man. It's hard. That's why, like, I hear like people say, where is the father of this girl? Where's the father?
Come on, even just to add on to that, man. I mean, I feel like all these things happen. We let all these things happen, like all these, over sexualized. I don't even blame the woman. I blame the man, the guys. Who are the guys who are surrounding, like, the ladies? Who are the guys who are surrounding? Who are the fathers to it? Who are the uncles? Who are the brothers? Because, man, let me tell you one thing, right? If let's say, for example, I have like a little sister, I'm gonna be checking her Instagram. I want to know what you're posting. I want to ask you, like, you have to ask questions like, do you even have these accounts? I'm like, no, I don't want to go extreme, but sometimes you have to, because, man, you don't want things to start leaking out there, like Georgina. They start leaking all Georgina and shit, Like, you don't want them to, start leaking, then you start asking them questions after, like, those things are leaking. You don't want that shit, bro.
Like, what happened? Because I came to figure out that if they are unknown, it's not an issue. But if they are in a known family, or they get to be with someone who's known, then it's a whole issue on its own, man. It's a whole issue on its own.
I mean, it's actually a pretty, like, tough thing. It's very hard to confirm and put a finger on it, because you're trying. You don't want to pry into someone's personal life, but anytime you post anything on the internet, bro, because the whole world sees it. When you caught it, everyone caught it. So, like, all I'm saying is, man, I feel like these things wouldn't have been happening, this over sexualizing, if, like, we didn't have, like, I don't want to say weak men, but if you have strong men around them, like, tell them, like, this thing is not,
like, calling them out on that
BS, calling them on that BS behavior, because that's not acceptable. So I feel like, even the next generation of, like, ladies who are coming in, if you try to teach them and tell them, like, you're trying to change how you're looking at things. I mean, that's one step. Like, even us being here, just throwing off some game on it, really helps going forward, man.
Because, like, people at least can hear the different opinions, and they can actually get to understand that it's not that one person, it's the whole world that person is moving through.
Yeah, man.
Because I came to figure out, like, people live in their heads, like you live in your head completely. You don't even get to realize that when you're moving out, it's not you, it's us.
even at that point of living in your head, you're like seeing even these ladies who are like, they're turning in, 30, they're clocking 30, they think that they're, 18, 19, 20, just living in your head. That's how you're living in your head. There's another 18-year-old who is youthful and very prettier than you. I mean, she's just coming in around the block and she's just taking all the guys. So you're like, why are you guys looking at me, man? You financialize guys to a certain point, because at a certain point it just ends. Like when you financialize guys from 20 to 30, 20 not even 30, 20 to 28, you're seeing I don't want to say damaged goods, but man, you're seeing used goods at that point. So when you see being seen as used goods at that point, so they're not gonna finance. It's like a vehicle. You don't want to buy a vehicle that's have passed 10 owners. You treat it like it's new, bro. It doesn't work like that. I want a car from the dealership. One that hasn't even been driven.
Like it's the first person driving the car.
Yeah, bro. That's one thing that some ladies don't understand. All this whole financializing the guy, financing your lifestyle. Of course, they're gonna have something in return, and what the return is. You're gonna have that return. You gotta pay them taxes. You know what, Sage? There's something here. I just want to pose this question, right?
Yeah.
Why is it okay for a woman to demand a guy to finance her life, then the woman does nothing to give back or anything? They have tried to, they had made it the norm over the years, but now guys are questioning that ideology.
I think men from the past, feminism came in and it messed up a lot of things.
The third wave feminism.
Yeah, the most recent wave of feminism. Yeah. But prior to that, feminism was okay because it strived for equity, not equality. But right now, people are going overboard. Even it's not going for equality; it's going for being superior, superiority.
Not even special treatment.
They're not going it for something how the hell can I say this? They're not going about it for something that will benefit both parties. It's to just disadvantage one party at its best, at its finest, yeah? So, I think back in the days, women never actually went to work because the man was taking care of everything. So, it got to a point that everything changed, and this change was so drastic. It's the way the school system right now is happening, yeah? People have changed from 844 to this new system, and this new system, it wasn't even planned for. So, it's havoc. I think that's the thing I can say. That's the case that we're having in this day and age, because people want to live in their old society with these new rules, and it don't make sense.
Yeah, I mean,
it don't make sense.
I mean, one thing I can say about that, right? All these, all these ideologies and the things that used to work way back. Guys are rising up and they're really questioning, they're trying to hold that ideology to account. Why is it that things are being done this way? Mm-hmm. Then you're having those radical guys, the radical feminists, they come out and start saying that, they start condemning you, and all these name calling just starts coming in, because they try to suppress that idea, and anyone who tries to confront them head on and call them out on their BS, they throw on your tag you're cancelled. They try to come up for your financials, to try to come out after your job. They start throwing bombs at your family. It's when you see that reaction, you're seeing they're not even attacking what you're saying. They're trying to question your character. They're trying to look at how can I shut this person down so that that opinion should not go through. They're not focusing on the opinion, they're actually focusing on the guy's character and credibility. Trying to question it so that people can start questioning why he's saying that. But they're removing the focus from the message and focusing on the messenger. And it's something that is, really, really taking down the way we are looking at things. And I don't feel comfortable when you start going in that direction, because at attacking someone's credibility just because he
Has an opinion.
Which, if they air it, like you even saw it with, even these media personalities who want to, stay with, they don't stay with their ideology, but when they stay with their ideology, it's bad for business for the advertising. Because you can find, all those guys who hold those big positions don't share the same story, cut this guy down. So, it's something that,
it's just a whole issue and it's not to be talked about.
Yeah, true. I mean, it's maybe in a future episode we can also talk about that, because
it's just a whole lot of connection that needs actually deep discussions on it.
Yeah, true, man.
So I actually have something to throw upon you. See, these people who are financialized men, there's these men who are financialized women.
So sexualized.
Yeah, sexualized, sorry. They're sexualized women. And then there's these guys who are in between.
Yeah.
I don't know if I should call them woke. I'm actually doing air quotes. Because they're actually condemning the both sides. It's something that actually hasn't been around in society, and it's actually something that's been there for a long period of time.
Yeah.
It's just that they're young and they think that their ideology shouldn't stand or something of the sort. So what can you, if you are asked to talk to these guys, because you'll find that they are actually not old folks. They're actually guys who are first year, second year, third year in their uni, of which at that point in time, even you'll find the guys actually don't even know how to look for money. And I figure that most of the time, you could bear witness with me.
Yeah, sure.
When a guy has money, he doesn't care as long as he knows where it's coming from. He doesn't care how he spends it most of the time.
Yeah.
So he actually doesn't find anything wrong being financialized by a woman. But when a guy doesn't have that money, he's actually stressed when he sees himself being financialized by a woman.
Yeah.
So what could you actually tell these guys who are currently jumping off of high school and jumping onto college and university?
I'm just just keep it 100, because I've also been in that situation. I would just say you just have to focus on forging a good career, working on your craft to a point where you're very skilled and competent in a certain area. I don't care what area it is, you have to focus on that and try to put that idea on the back burner a bit and focus on your professional career. Be it sport, be it academics, be it whatever it is, music, entertainment. Make sure you focus on that. And while you're even on your grind, you have to come up with a vetting metric that you have to come up with to be able to know who to bring into your life, because you don't want to find a situation where you're bringing someone into your life who's going to take you off course. Majority of the time I'm seeing you're focusing on the wrong thing. Focus on profession, focus on skill, because one thing you have to know, skill pays the bills. Focus on that one first. But when it comes to looking for a partner, you have to create a standard. When you're a professional, you will get a job. When you get a job, you get money. With money, you set standards that you want in a woman. The standard that you want, I want a woman who's this. So that's the thing that you have to check out. So those are the things that's the advice I can tell.
At least you've given the young guys an aware of they should know what they want, because if you don't have standards, you actually wouldn't know what you want in actually life.
Yeah, sure.
And before actually we continue, I'd like to tell guys if you keep on listening to this podcast, you'll find yourself getting in a self-development kind of life, because at the end of the day, we're not here just to entertain. We're here just to push you through to the next level, to get you to understand that as much as there's all this fun coming in with life, you have to take care of yourself while moving in with life. And let me take you back just a bit here. You've actually told guys they should have standards for themselves. What about those guys who actually have no idea where to start. They've just been living life, and it's like, how can I say this? They've been on autopilot, and now, like, after seeing things, they're starting to wake up, and they're like, oh, I never realized this before. Oh, I'm seeing this. This is kind of different from what I had in my mind. Because there's a fine line between what you think it should be and how it actually is.
Yeah, true. I mean, I 100% agree with you. Sometimes I just, even you're starting from, like, from a point of, like, you're not sure, like, how you're supposed to do it. Identify the thing that you like doing. First of all, look at something that you like doing, enjoy doing, and you try to find a way to, like, monetize it and make it a profession. Let's say, for example, you're not good in, academics. You can look at, am I a good athlete? Can I play professional sport? Am I a good singer? Am I a good actor? Try to look at, a way to be able to, like, forge a career through the things that you love. So the people who love sport, the people who love entertainment, the people who love, professional side academics, studying, education. So you have to, like, pick a niche that you feel that,
you're comfortable in,
yeah. Yeah, sure. I mean, that's the only way, because nobody's going to tell you this. Nobody.
Yeah, true. Yeah. Even, like, for me, yeah. How I came to, like, it was because, like, I got into this book, then this book led me to these other books. So I came to figure out this all inside the book. But actually was in this seminar where the person, I won't mention him right now, maybe in the next few episodes I'll actually mention him. He's actually one of my mentors. Yeah? He actually spoke arrogantly. Yeah? He was like, for me, I can easily remove 500,000 from my bank account to sort out the bills if I have a family member who's sick. But as for the usher who's in this seminar, he can't do that, or she can't do that. I felt like it was a weird flex, and it actually made sense. He was actually saying that he actually crafted some skills that made him better than I can say 99% of people out there, because, like, to remove 500,000 US dollars from your pocket, like, it's nothing. That's very few people who can do that. Yeah. So on that, I'll actually, like, guide us to talk about love a bit, because you can bear witness. It's easily for you.
Okay, so I want to say something on the part where you said about to those people who don't know where they are, and, like, if you found yourself, you don't know what you want at that point. So what I can say is put yourself in positions where you get exposure to things. You don't know a lot of things, and you don't know you like a lot of things until you are exposed to them. So put yourself in a position, go to events, read books, talk to people, get yourself out there, then you will start to realize that you like things. Oh, apparently you're good in this. Yeah.
It's like you're telling guys, yeah, you don't know what you don't know.
That's true. That's actually true. That's very true.
You're coming back to that point, like, try to find, like, people who are, like, in that line, who are really good at that line, and try to, like, emulate their characteristics, or even at some point you can even find you're even surpassing what they can do, and you do it better.
That's true.
Yeah, that's actually something that, there's some good game right there. So yeah, I mean,
actually, you've actually reminded me something. There's this book that I read. It's called Sell or Be Sold. Yeah? Grant Cardone was saying, like, poor people don't know they are poor. So, like, it sounds weird, but it kind of makes sense, because I feel like while I was talking to, like, a couple of people, this was like mid last year. Fine, for me, I've slept hungry back at home. Yeah, cool. But for him, he was actually in a worse situation than I was. And I was telling him, man, you're broke. Then he was like, you're insulting me. I'm like, calling you broke and you don't have money, you're broke, man. Like, people feel offended being told their situation, and I absolutely have no idea why that is, man.
I mean, the funny thing, even to just add on, there's this, I like watching this videos from Get Yours with Monesi on YouTube. You should. I'll say some good content and actually good game. There's this point he was saying, like, when you are like 18 to 24, you're poor. But when you're 24 to 30, man, you're broke.
No, but it's true.
Or is the other way around? You're broke, but when you're 24 to 30, you're poor. Like, all I was saying is, like, sometimes you find, like, some people just don't like taking the truth, man. You just tell someone, like, you're broke, bro, you're poor, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, I just think, like, telling someone is broke is like being gentle and caring about their feelings instead of saying that they're poor. They're trying to, like, hurt them without you're trying to hurt them without getting hurt.
Like you're putting your metal hand in a glove so that you can punch them.
It's just hilarious. It's just hilarious. Anyway, man, I mean, you wanted to talk about something.
Yeah. So I was like, basically, like, moving us towards, like, love, because finances and love, no matter how we look at it, they'll always go hand in hand. This is something that I'm talking about from experience and not just what I've heard or something of the sort. Yeah. So we've actually told people to get their money right and get their skills right. Mm-hmm. So I'll quickly slide to the love bit, because this is basically the introduction. We'll be giving them some slips of everything before we actually move to, like, diving deep into the topics, because we're going to get deeper.
Sure.
So in love, like, when you're young, let's say under 20 and under, you have this idea of love in your head. And this person and you, everyone has their own idea of love, and they actually don't communicate on it. So this ends up messing you up, because you are assuming things, they are assuming things, and things actually get messed up in between. And we're actually not told by anyone how, like, it actually is. You just have movie ideas and series ideas on this is how this is usually is. Yeah? Mm-hmm. So the reason why I'm saying this is because I came to figure out that it's not just me who got myself into a relationship without understanding the other person or the other side, yeah? What they want, what they desire. There's a whole million of us. There are millions and millions of us who just find ourselves in relationships, like, how can I say this? We just jump onto the relationship because I have this feeling, and we don't communicate. I like this, I want that. This even slides to the sex bit. People actually don't talk about what they want or stuff. They just jump into sex, and, like, then you start hearing stories and you're like, why didn't you tell me? So what can you actually, like, tell guys on if they decide to be in a relationship?
Bro, like, I'm just keep it, like, 100. I was in a relationship for about 3 years. I actually planned, like, the way I wanted to. I actually planned it out. Like, I identified a chick. I actually this is something that I've never even told anyone. I went and did research on, like, how to get a girl. I actually went to YouTube. I went to Google. Like, you are so
if you wanted to, he would.
I was actually very deliberate, because I looked at, like, various ways how people did it. I saw how people were feeling on it, and I actually, like, I just made a lot of research. Even wrote, like, pointers on, typed it out, like, looked at it. I was like, no, I've tried the dry run. I've looked at it. I practiced it, and I was like, cool. Let me just try this on some chick, and bam. Caught it the way a fisherman just cast bait like that, and just reeling in.
You caught the fish, man.
I just reeled her in because it was so, like, I can say, like, I actually achieved the objective I had set. But one thing that I didn't plan out in the plan is, like, how, now that I got her,
how you're going to keep her.
Yes. So one thing I was, like, looking at, I was trying to, like, see, okay, now fine, I got her, she's cool, we're cool. Okay, now what's next? Let me see. what do these movies tell us?
Textbook.
This is what we do. So at that time I didn't watch. I was not watching like romantic comedies or anything. So I tried to try to wing it at first. I was like, let me just try this thing. Let me just go fly blind on it, which is a very bad idea because when I looked at it on the surface, things were just working out well. I thought like having makeout sessions was actually pretty regular. I thought like having like those episodes would make her like stay with me, and it became more frequent to a point where like this time I was going like every morning. morning glory and in the evening, and it was just it was actually pretty insane until this point when we met. I was like, I think we need to slow things down.
And like you've been on 180, you have to relax. So then we're getting out of the highway now, eh?
Then looking back, I was like, I found this quote that really resonated with me. I was like, having fun with someone that you love or like is very addictive.
Yeah, that's true.
And it was actually pretty messy because when things started going sideways, that was like, we were just having fun for like, a year, trying to take things seriously. Like, I really had plans for this. I actually thought this relationship was gonna last forever, but no. I mean, the universe and the way things were looking in the world made it, and things just didn't pan out the way they were. I mean, I came to find out who she really, really was. And I don't want to say that that's the reason why I left, but I can say like it was one of the reasons that I saw that. It was not the reason, but it was one among a couple of reasons that time I was like, I don't want to say broke, but I still had money at the time. That time I was a student, so I still had money. We were both students.
But I don't know how like students usually have money.
Oh, when you just check campus or call it like you don't.
Within campus, like a lot of money is like, you don't pay for like that time. I was like, the rent wasn't that much.
Yeah.
So you're like, you don't have a lot of expenditures because you're not paying like, anyone's tuition.
Yeah.
So it's like your money, it's your money. So even if you have like less money when you're finished campus, looks like more money when you're in campus. So it's look like I was just liquid at the time, but. One thing I can say is this, man, you have to do a thorough background check on the girl because you don't want to be stuck in a situation where you don't know who this person is 2 years. 3 years like me. I came and found out like, I don't want to say like what I saw in there. I mean, it's just something. You could get into trouble, but I don't know. I mean, who's listening to this? I don't care anyway. So, I mean, I looked at like her personality. Her personality was great when we started, but I just found like there were those people who just learned the art of deception. They just knew how to wear masks.
The manipulation tactics were on top,
and it wasn't even about.
So you're saying your research was not that good?
Yes, I firmly admit that my plan had flaws.
You didn't plan much at the end.
Having a concrete plan when you get in and you don't have another like plan to follow through that plan, it just gets messy at that point.
You actually said that. You reminded me like when I was recording my EP. I was like, if I finish like recording the 5 songs, then I release them, it will be the greatest feelings ever. So after I recorded all the tracks, I got the stuff here. So after getting it, I was like, what next? That was the worst moment you could possibly have as a human being, not just as a man, but as a human being. Not knowing what you're going to do next, you can easily go mad. Because like you start overthinking situations, you're not doing anything, and the worst thing that actually comes to you, it's like when you start comparing yourself with another person, that hits you like the low blow.
The other guy is blowing up, you're not blowing up.
Yeah, that's the worst thing. That's the worst thing.
This is the worst thing because you're beating yourself down. You had a plan, you had a concrete plan. Let me just work on this, jams. and just get them out, right? Even the guys who are, starting off on social media, they think like, those guys, they come in like when you start posting like the 5th post, 7th post, the 10th post will be fire, then you expect, to blow up quickly. I'm like, come on, man. It's not like that quick. Nothing happens like that quick. You have to be like, you have to have like a lot of time into it. And I mean, any guy who's getting into a relationship, man, you just have to like state your intentions quickly. Like one thing that I move on, the one thing that I carry on with myself when I'm going to a girl, I'll just tell you, yo, this is what I want. I want us to be in a relationship. I just want us to smash. Yes, I am like it's.
Let's say like you're very direct and very straightforward.
I just want to hit it. Like, come on. I just want us to have fun. Like this, and you could call it friends with benefits. You can call it, you can call it whatever you want to call it. But I'll just be like, it's. I just want this at this time. Are you gonna give it to me? And if you're not cool with it, cool. I just go on to the next.
It's like there's no time for you to beat up yourself because this thing.
I'll just write in your on the text message. That means, are we on tonight?
Do you have some trend like with the ladies from
okay. So what I can say for your 20s, for your early 20s, honest opinion, just focus on yourself. Like, because I realized that most people, when you get to like 20 and people want to get into a relationship, but they don't really have the knowledge about it and what it brings and what it does, there are a lot of consequences that come with getting into a relationship with, without being fully aware of what you're getting into. And a lot of people end up getting heartbroken and carrying a lot of traumas from the early 20s. Stop laughing. It's actually very true. Listen.
You get heartbroken.
You get heartbroken, like seriously. It becomes a traumatic experience.
How many heartbroken is heartbroken? Like 1, 2, 5.
Like one can do that much damage.
Let me tell you something about heartbreaks. The first one will be terrible. Like
the worst.
You will feel like you're going to die. Like you'll never move on. But after that, it starts being.
How come that has never happened to me? For me, it's been like a disaster after disaster. I feel like for me, it's like it's been that shaking from the first one to the second one to the third one.
I mean, like look at its age. Like I feel like after losing all this time, you finally learned how to turn this franchise around.
Yeah.
I mean, I'll say all I'll say is this, right? I mean, I feel like I'm going to talk on the perspective of what I've felt. Okay, yes, I've taken L's, I've taken heartbreaks, but it's how I bounce back on them. But I can say like a true heartbreak happens when someone you really, really, really loved, they just
do something.
They just break your trust. Yeah. I mean, for me it's mostly trust because I feel trust and love go together. So if I can love you, and if I don't trust you, like it writes all about the love in there. So if I can't trust you, if you break that, I mean the love just fades away. I won't see anything, pleasurable about you. I mean, I'll just brush it off. I just leave, but that void that it left, like it that I can say. It really, really, changed the way I can say it really, really changed, but it changed my approach on how I'll be approaching things. I'm not saying that the other chicks are going to suffer because of that one, because I feel like a lot of ladies, like when they drop their guard down and they get, heartbroken, they kind of put the shields.
That's all guys, by the way.
They put the shields up. Like you try to be nice. You try to be nice to them, and you're like, you're putting all these shields. I can't even talk to you. Like I try. Some guy can come in. I stand corrected. A guy can try to come and try to talk to you, and I'm not interested. I'm like, come on.
Can I tell you what I feel? I feel like guys are normally the ones who are like that they go through something and they go through a heartbreak and they never bounce back from. Or if they do, they put up like walls so high, so everybody else gets the.
So the walls for the Chile they are higher than for the guy.
No, I don't like girls love easily. That's the thing. They fall in love very easily. Mm-hmm. They get vulnerable easily. Like I would get heartbroken, and after some time, sure, I can put my walls up, blah blah blah. But most girls are emotional beings, so eventually the walls come down. But for guys, once they go up, that's it. Kuna kugoja. That's how I feel, honestly. But that's the truth. That's why most guys are emotionally unavailable, nonchalant.
On that, I have there's this thing that's actually out there. Like women tend to like these guys who are emotionally unavailable, and these guys who are emotionally available don't get the time of day. Like they don't get the time because I'll say this. Yeah? I meet a lot of simps, a lot.
This welcome to
like, but like nowadays. Okay, if I may say, what would you count as a simp?
Okay, my definition of simp is this is a guy who is pedestalizing a woman, puts the needs of a woman in front of theirs, and is a yes man, agrees with them. Everything. Like that bubblehead like this, right?
Yeah.
How would you feel if someone kept agreeing with you? Like everything you're saying, they're like, yeah.
Hey, that's a truth.
And that's
more. And I'm like, I mean, at least challenge me. Tell me, yo, I don't like what you're doing there.
Like, I'm not interested in what you want us to do. I'm not interested.
I'm like, honestly, I don't give a fuck about what you're doing. I mean, like, something like that. I mean, but you're finding like they are pedestalizing the woman, everything, their whole world is centered around pleasing the woman, being the, lap dog or something, and she throws a bone, like, yay, fetch. Good morning text, lunchtime texts, evening texts, phone calls, as if you're
that's not simping, is it?
No, I'm saying simping manifests like that. I'm not saying like, I'm not saying like that makes you a simp. I understand if, let's say, for example, I have a girlfriend, I would
like there's something that you,
but that doesn't make me a simp because she's already my girlfriend. I'm talking about the guy who is not a girlfriend, but it's manifesting in that. So that's my definition.
And
who it's a correct one.
Because even like girls simp.
Yeah, girls simp. No, but it depends. If we're talking in a context where like you're in love with a person, or maybe the person is your boyfriend, I don't think that's simping though, is it?
With relationships, like there's levels, yeah? If you put your priorities down and put this other person on top, that's messed up. Because you have a life, they have a life. You need to get things done so that you both...
So is it simping?
If the priorities are not right, and they are messing up with you living life, that's simping.
Okay.
But if you have your priorities and you're putting them where they are required to be, that's not simping.
Okay.
Yeah.
But I know girls simp. I know a lot of girls.
How does it work?
Okay, I don't know.
I'm not saying that you haven't do you have any idea of how it can give you?
I can give you an example. Yeah?
Okay.
So there's this guy, a friend of mine. Yeah? He actually okay, I'm not sure if it's actually in that context, but it's somehow it rhymes with it, one or the other. So it happened that my guy, he's a player. He doesn't let girls know that he's single, but actually seduces girls to think that they're together without actually telling them we're together, because you can actually be in a relationship with me without my knowledge. That's just a thing that I figured. Actually, I didn't realize that this happens, but it actually happens. There's someone who was in a relationship with me for 2 years, and I didn't even know about it.
You just in your mind, you're just
we're
just cool. But
yeah,
for them, it's
she even threw tantrums.
because like you didn't do this or you didn't say this?
Is it because you people don't talk or what? Like, because I feel like if somebody likes you that much to even, think they're in a relationship with you, then you might have like some signs that this person is interested in me, something of the sort.
I don't Anyways, let's take the focus out of me. We're talking about
when the spotlight.
So my guy, yeah? He was actually like, for my guy, he was actually that type of person who like, he's cool with women and stuff, but there's this one specific girl that I don't know if she fell in love with him or what, but this girl she went to the extent was like, I want to have a baby with you, and he's like, no, I can't have a baby right now. Then they had sex, she got pregnant, and she was like, I'm keeping it, and the guy was like, no, you can't keep it. So she ended up removing. I was like, that's too much, man. That's too much. So that's one thing that I would consider simping coming from a woman.
Simping, like trapping that person in.
No, she was trying to. I think she was trying to trap him.
Oh yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like the girl tries to trap the guy by like getting pregnant.
Yeah. But I think when chicks like simp, like they try to throw so much just throw so much sex on you. You're like they try to use that to like keep you around. It's like the same way like a guy will try to I don't say guy, but will try to use their money and resources
to acquire a girl,
to get you, because they'll be like to get a girl, because they'll be like let me just.
The thing is, one of them works but the other doesn't. Because money works, money will keep a lot of people there, but sex, men are not really kept by sex.
No. What?
Yeah.
Ask the average man will be like, how frequent will you have sex in a week? Like, I think like 5 times. Let's say, for example, in a relationship with a chick, I expect it like, at least 4 times a week. That's the least.
4 times?
Yeah. And let's say, for example, we're living together, I pay the,
like we're in the same house.
You sleep in
the same bed.
You sleep in the same, come on. That time you have to and let's say, for example, we are married or we're engaged. Or maybe all night. All I'm saying, you're trying to find that thing. Even after the child.
You don't get tired, man. All night, man. But I don't know. What will the 1 minute man say? What will the one? You're putting high standards, man. But people are like 7 seconds. Like,
have you seen how some African weddings they try to over dramatize it? There's this one wedding I was seeing on the TV. I don't know why.
Like the wedding show stuff, huh?
No, not even a wedding show. It's like a YouTube video. Something that just can't go on the telly. So the pastor was saying, telling the woman you have to be giving it to him regular, and they're saying it in that Nigeria. Actually, it's like regular sex. You give it to him.
What is regular sex?
I don't know what that means anyway. But I feel like it's. I think it's a given. They're going to maybe even the honeymoon night, even the night before the wedding, maybe it happened. It's just that the person didn't know. But if they really want to have children, of course they're gonna have sex.
Yeah, true.
But I feel like the woman might simp using sex, and the man would simp using money. Because
that's the highest probability.
But have you seen? But there's this other thing I know. I know this is NSFW, but I feel like have you seen how I don't want to say unavailable, but you can see a situation where you have Sex, actually, this we're in a generation where, okay, sex can be perceived to be very available.
At this point in time, yeah.
But at some point you can find it's not that available. It's like maybe it's not that it's available.
It's like available. This specific group of people are having it, and these others are completely.
This is how you can see like 80%. You can see like out of a metric of 100%, you can see like there's that 30% that gets regular sex very well. There's a silent 70% majority that doesn't get sex
at all.
So like you can say it's available, but not that available.
It's partially available.
Yeah. So that's one thing I came to realize, because there's a silent majority. They don't want to come in and say it because they're gonna look like a pussy.
Yeah.
When they say that, right? They don't say it. Then the blame will be shifted on them. They say there's something wrong with you. You can't talk to a woman, you can't get this from a woman. But you can find a situation where like they're silent, they try to manifest it through, they try to, stick to other things like, PlayStation, gaming. Then the women who like give the 30% sex laugh at these guys because they can't get sex. Because this guy is 70% trying to get sex there, they get bounced. But this guy gets sex there, they bounce. So they get it. So like there's that aspect that I don't think people like look at. They try to like say that even when the chicks like, the chicks who give out sex that 30% be like, yeah, I don't know regular sex. I don't know why it's unavailable because I don't know why they say it's unavailable. But mono-pairing, like since everyone can get it, they start targeting your parents, they start targeting your bank account. But majority of the time is right now, this day and age, I don't think you need a lot of money to have sex. You don't have to have a lot of money to do that.
Actually, on that note, there's this section in the podcast. It's called the Man Cave. Yeah. There's this guy who will usually record the podcast with. He's called Anonymous. This guy has actually shown me, most of the time you'll find that women don't actually get approached, especially if you like they're really beautiful, yeah? Like guys get intimidated and don't find the energy to just walk up to her and even say hi, let alone ask for the number. Just saying hi, it's an issue. So Anonymous and I in that section, we actually started slowly last year, but I think this year we'll actually push it up there. It's a section where Anonymous and I will be guys in high school, most of the time in high school, that's when you learn how to court girls and you learn how to approach them. You find that there are guys who never did that in high school. They didn't go to a white school like I did, where if it was a fun key and you were standing by yourself, people would go and look for an ugly mama. They tell her someone's calling you, and then she's like, who? They walk to you. You've not been told about anything. You don't know that people are coming with a girl to you. Then they touch you and they're like, and you hold you. So they leave you and you're there. You're looking at each other and you're like, what the hell am I going to say? It actually never happened to me because most of the time I'm actually, as much as introverted
You're a social butterfly.
As much as I usually nowadays, as much as I keep to myself, at that point in time I wasn't to myself. I was out there. So in that section of the podcast, we'll actually be pushing guys to just go to her, say hi, just go to her, say something. It's better to say something than saying nothing. So on that, I was just telling guys on that note, because it's something that's going to be out there and it's going to be wild. And actually, I think we're going to involve you guys. You're telling guys about
and the funny thing is, I mentioned the 70% majority. You see, those chicks that are very, celebrity, they are social media, they get into they use it as a funnel for adult content, OnlyFans. You can find their market is these guys. The guys who can't have sex, these guys who are getting denied. No, they're using them as their simp funnel.
Using like a simple to get the green.
Yeah, so they monetize on those guys who don't have the ability to do that. But I'm saying, guys, you can change the way you think. It's the mentality thing. You can change the way you think. Try to learn some game and try to improve in yourself to get into that 30, 20, or 10, or even 5% of guys who are getting it.
So is the goal getting friends? Yeah.
For guys, yeah. But I'll actually personally, this is what
I say yes.
This is what happens in my mind. This is what happens in my mind.
Okay.
Everyone knows like I'm a Bout guy. Everyone absolutely.
I didn't know that. Why are you assuming everyone knows that?
It's good to the point that
You mentioned it.
You mentioned it. Oh, sorry.
it's good to the point that friends of mine, even lady friends, they search for like tweets or like comments. There's this chick who tweeted me, if I see you and you're in a matatu, you're staring at me, I'll put my titty out and give it to you to suck. And then she was like, she takes the screenshot of that, she sends it to me, and she's like, look for her. And when you see her, stare at her intensively. And I was like,
I'm gonna say this one thing. I love boobs, but man, that's extreme.
hey man,
That's aggressive. Man. To keep jealousy.
But I don't know. Like one thing I must say is just to like add on. I feel like when it comes to like even relationships, like I feel like guys know how to turn it off, on and off.
Mm-hmm.
But chicks don't know. I don't think they have an off switch.
Because
You have not met chicks of this day.
They don't have an off switch because like I feel like some functions we have in our heads are like inbuilt. And they're user defined, but theirs is just
that's just hearsay. That's neither here.
I have a story to go along with it.
It's okay, but it's one story. You're basing off your facts on one story.
I'll tell you this, yeah. I don't think that I figured that sometimes, like like how people say like men are sexual. I figured that women are way
sexual, yeah.
But they don't have an off switch.
They're still sticking with that.
They don't have an off switch because she can be like.
These are just stereotypes.
She can say like right now you could be like, nah, please. I want it here now.
Yeah. What if I do?
No.
I just let's just.
So when you made an off switch, what exactly are you implying?
They don't know how to.
What do you mean?
They don't know.
Like there are places where
like you see like this thing where like when a guy wants it and like the chick like doesn't feel like it, but the guy tries to go he's doing this like no. Now when it comes to like now the guy is like stoic, doesn't want to do anything anymore. Then the chick is like let me do this.
Why do you not want to do it?
She wore that beautiful lingerie like that. Maybe even the dude is tired. Maybe even the dude is like not feeling like doing it. But now the chick, when nothing happens, be like, he's cheating on someone else. Like someone else is doing it better. I'm like, come on. Like it doesn't have to be like that. For you, maybe it will be actually insane if I said, oh, you're receiving it from someone. Maybe we accept like the way they exist. We accept it the way they say like where she's not feeling it, she's not in the right mood. But
so basically, like we've given you guys like a whole wrap up of like what will be the type of conversations that we'll be having. So I'd like to leave it as to where we are right now. Tomorrow or the next day, you'll be hearing on the following beats and snips of what's going to be happening. So, you have any closing remarks?
I'm just glad to be here, and I think I'll be here in a while, man. I enjoyed the whole conversation. It was fun.
Yeah. So I hope you guys enjoyed the way we enjoyed it, and we'll see you in the next episode.
Peace out.